to Weekday Wrestling, a time to wrestle with the Word of God and make space for His transforming work. So, Sunday's sermon, we were looking at Luke 14. The first verse gave us the setting, and then we were at 7 verses 7 through 14 of the 14th chapter. You went a lot of places.
I did.
You promised us you were going to, and you did. But towards the end, you started talking about listening. And you gave us some invitations to listen to God and listen to others. And as I thought about listening to others, sometimes there's some real challenges to listening and
Indeed.
listening to others. So.
Indeed. And so in this portion of Luke that we looked at, Jesus talks a lot about hospitality and how to welcome and be welcomed. And so part of listening is actually welcoming the other into our, not just into our homes, but into our conversation space, into our heads, if you will. And so, but that can be difficult, and it can be difficult kind of, if we look globally, there are three ways that this is very difficult. There are some topics that are very difficult. And there are truly some hurtful and really hurt-filled topics that are around that are just challenging as a topic. There can be challenging people, and the old adage hurt people is very true. And so when we engage with people who are hurtful, then that makes listening difficult. And there are also some ways that our own hurt comes out in conversations. They can make it difficult for the person in front of us to even understand why we're hurt, but there are just some things that will bring out our hurt. And so there are difficult topics, difficult people, and there's difficulties with ourselves when it comes to listening.
Okay, so let's start one here with those hurt-filled topics.
Yeah, the hurt-filled topics are difficult. And we used to talk in the Army about VUCA environment, the volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And that's not just a military term. It's really what we deal with today is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous things. And there are topics that if there were a simple answer, we would have already solved them. And those are the topics that kind of dominate the opinion culture, because opinions are a whole lot easier than solutions. And we hear a lot of opinions, and we end up in this place of competing opinions or competing behaviors even as we try to make sense of this volatile, uncertain, and complex and ambiguous topic. And so one of the things that we can do to really deeply listen is to listen below the surface. And so there's some surface opinions or solutions that are floated out there as basically a soundbite solution to a complex problem. And I think if we all step back and look and say, wow, it's deeper than that. There's more to it. And if we start to look back and say, wow, this is difficult because we have some competing values.
Okay.
And so if we look at all of the topics around us, we don't really disagree on kind of core aim things. We disagree on the ordering of values as we come to solutions.
Okay.
And so if we can get out of this, I know what will work, and my way's better than your way, and if only everybody would do it my way, then we'd solve this. Which, I mean, we laugh, but I mean, if we look at the world around us, that's what's being said. But if we can take a step back and truly listen and welcome the ideas of others and listen deeply so that we can get down to the values and assumptions that underlie the complexity of that topic, then we can come to say, wow, you value this, I value that too, but I value this, and you value that too, but we place a different order or priority on those values. Wow, when we can come to see that we share values in different ordering, we can actually start to talk about maybe there's another way that honors and values both values.
Okay.
And come to at least a way of understanding in these complex topics.
Thank you for that insight into how to listen deeply to hurt-filled topics. So next episode, we're going to talk about how to listen deeply with hurtful people.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us for Weekday Wrestling, a time to wrestle with the Word of God and make space for His transforming work. Bye.
Bye-bye.